I've been playing this terrible, horrible, no good, very bad, stupid, dumb, bad, stupid, horrible game for 9 years. And in case it isn't clear, I absolutely hate it. Getting 3 wins is the worst part of my day, which is why I do it first thing in the morning, so at least I know the rest of my day is uphill from there. And I know what you're thinking, why not quit? Alright, well, I'm in too deep, man. Alright, 9 years, 9,000 trophies, a full level 15 deck, all the cards at least level 12, 163-day streak, which does not sound impressive at first until you find out that they added streaks 163 days ago, and all free to play. I'm stuck, man. I'm committed to this thing. All this is to say that I remember a day and age when updates used to be good. Right? We got legendaries, we got Clan War 1s, we got multiple new cards per update, but obviously those days are gone, and now we just get horrible update after horrible update. So, to remind you of what this game used to be, here's a list of every update that made Clash Royale worse. Number 1. The November to December 2016 update, Super Barbs. After finishing the script, I regret adding this one. See, I added this one because there are so few bad updates in the early days that I just had to include something. This is when Super Barbs came out, and in December they were buffed significantly. All I remember from that time was that they were so overpowered they were basically in every deck. The problem with mentioning it is now I have to mention every OP card that released, and there were a lot. But don't worry, I speedrun them all at the end. Number 2. The June 2017 update, Mega Knight. Yeah, I don't need to explain this one. Screw this card. Number 3. The removal of achievements. It's been so long I actually forgot about them till I researched this video. These worked basically the same way they do in Clash of Clans. There were only 12 achievements, but they were a nice way to track your progress and get some gems. There really was no reason to remove them. Number 4. Removal of the clan chest. Alright, now, in general, this update is great, because it gave us Clan Wars 1, which, I'm sorry if you didn't get to play it, it was actually good. It was so much better than Clan Wars 2. You had a collection day where you got random cards, which you then used on battle day to make random decks and random modes. The only reason I'm mentioning this update is because they removed the clan chest, which was a fun feature. Essentially, you and your clan earned crowns to upgrade a chest, which gave you a bunch of rewards. Number 5. Adding trade tokens. Alright, trading wasn't actually the problem. The problem was the implementation. Alright, trade tokens were pretty cool and all, but they slowly made it impossible to get these tokens. Now, I don't even think there's a single way to get them, and if there is, I don't know what it is. Number 6. Star levels. The trend I'm starting to notice is they have good features, just bad implementation. Just like trade tokens, star levels were in concept good. They were a way to customize your cards and make it unique, but in the end, all we got were a couple simple cosmetics that are the same for everyone. Hell, most cards didn't even get 3 star levels, and new star levels haven't been added since 2019. Since then, the feature has just become some weird, hard-to-find button, with each new card getting 1 useless level. Number 7. April to November 2019, The Witch. Alright, I know I said I didn't like mentioning OP cards, but this one has to get mentioned. For 8 months, The Witch was being rebalanced basically every update. She used to spawn skeletons in a straight line. Then they added skeletons on death. Then they upped her damage by 220%. Then they increased her attack speed. Then they changed the skeleton spawned in a diamond. And then they removed the death skeletons. And then they removed her splash damage. And then they added back the splash damage and retuned her back to those original stats. For 8 months, The Witch was either an auto-win or completely unplayable, and it made players feel like upgrading cards was useless because they can just be fundamentally changed whenever. The devs actually had to apologize when the changes were finally over, and this apology also included the Executioner, which I will get to eventually. Number 8. Trophy Road. Trophy Road was better on release than what it currently is, but it was still worse than the League chest. You used to get one big chest, which had great rewards based on your league. After Trophy Road was added, you only got significantly worse rewards at certain trophy intervals, like it is now. The one way the old road was better, though, is that the season actually still reset, so you can get those trophy rewards again and again. Number 9. The Executioner. Yeah, as I mentioned, the devs also had to apologize for this one. They gave him an 82% damage buff, making him an auto-include in every deck. You basically couldn't counter Evo Tornado. There was nothing you could do for 2 months. Number 10. Firecracker. Yeah, I don't need to explain this one. Screw this card. Number 11. Removing the heal spell and replacing it with the heal spirit. Alright, no one ever used the card, but just completely removing a card always felt wrong. Luckily, or sadly in some cases, it hasn't been done since. Number 12. Clan Wars 2. I still have no idea how this mode works. Why is it 100 weeks long? What is a training day? What's the difference between tokens and ship wheels? Why can I be first and still get a boot? I don't think I've ever even pressed the Coliseum button. I don't know what it does. And most importantly, how is redesigning 4 decks using under-leveled cards for random modes every week supposed to be fun? I only open to check if the 7x Elixir is available, otherwise I just don't touch this thing. Number 13. Removal of quests. In the same update, they removed quests and free rewards, making it so much harder to progress. My god, I'm already at number 13 and we're only at August of 2020. We haven't even gotten to the real bad stuff. If you enjoy the content, please subscribe because this takes a long time and I'm not even monetized yet, so it will really help me out. Luckily for me though, after Clan Wars 2, updates became sparser. Things stayed relatively okay for a year-ish, with the only big change being magic items, which were actually decent for progression. Of course, nothing good lasts forever, which brings us to number 14, level 14. I don't think I need to explain this one. Having so much progress ripped from your hands when you finally got a full level 13 deck felt horrible. I get that max players may not have had much to do, but you can fix that by adding new cards or gameplay, not destroying all card interactions and making it so much harder to climb trophies. And this isn't even the only thing wrong with the update. Number 15, Champions. Champions are fun, and I actually like them in concept. The abilities add a new gameplay for the first time in a while. The problem is, as usual, the way it was implemented. They were impossible to get or upgrade without spending money. This, with level 14, made the game even more pay to win, which is a trend we will be seeing more often. Number 16. Also in the same update, they added the King's Journey. I know they scaled it so it's roughly the same amount of XP, but it basically just made it harder to get to King level 15 for few really bad rewards. Number 17. Card Mastery. Again, another feature that was good on release, but slowly made worse. They gave a lot of gems and rewards and were a fun way to challenge yourself with different cards. However, as usual, they ruined it. They stopped adding tier 3 challenges and eventually just nerfed all the rewards and gems. Number 18. Monk and Phoenix. I didn't play the game much from when level 14 was added, so I can't speak to how the meta was changing, but what I do know is that when I came back, Monk and Phoenix were everywhere. Newly released cards and eventually Evos were becoming even more overpowered than they already were to encourage even more spending. The cards remained meta for a couple months till they were nerfed to the ground, like all new releases. Number 19. Path of Legends. You know what's better than climbing one ladder? Climbing 2. In the same update as the Monk and Phoenix, they added Path of Legends. Basically, they removed the monthly rewards from the Trophy Road and gave you way less in a way harder game mode. I'm sure the competitive players enjoy it, but why do they have to remove all the rewards from casuals as well? But that wasn't as bad as what comes next, which is an update I know you've all been waiting for. Number 20. The update for losers. Where do I even begin? They overhauled the Pass Royale by adding 3 tiers, but made it so that the Diamond tier, which is the 3rd tier, costs more than the old pass and gave you less rewards. The free pass became completely useless since you only got a reward every 5 or so levels, and the gold tier was just a useless tier in the middle. To compensate, they added the season shop, which had less rewards and required you to grind daily because of the token cap. The original season shop was okay, but it definitely wasn't worth all the rewards that were removed from the free or paid pass. What's worse is that all of this was marketed as like getting more crowns and thus more rewards, even when you lose. But what they never mentioned is that you need a lot more crowns just to get the bare minimum. At the time, this was the worst update in Clash Royale history. Luckily, it was only 3 months until the even worse update came out. Number 21, level 15. The dev decided to add a new card level that required more cards than all the previous levels combined. Of course, when they marketed this, all they mentioned was that the upgrades wouldn't need gold and failed to mention the sheer number of cards needed. And even that wasn't enough for them. They also eventually nerfed the number of elite wildcards you get, so it takes even longer to upgrade. This was also coincided with the most pay-to-win feature yet. Number 22, Evolutions. On paper, these are fun. In practice, it's just a months of getting the crap beat out of you with whichever new Evo is in the pass. Almost every Evo that comes out is completely busted, and the only way to get them is, take a guess, to pay. Literally, for the first month or 2, you could not get a shard any other way, and the first Evos that came out were basically just trophy printers. Evo Firecracker used to be able to take out an entire Princess Tower in 1 or 2 shots if you lined it up so the damage area stack, and you couldn't take her out with arrows. It stayed this way for a while because, of course, they didn't nerf her until they finally got every penny out of it. Also, the way Evos are implemented, using cycles just encourages fast decks and forcing the meta into permanently be cycle decks. It could have been fun, but alas, the greed won out. Now, for the next few months, they were basically the same BS over and over again, so I'm going to speedrun this. Number 23, Little Prince. He was released, he was OP, next. Number 24, Cannoneer. He was released, he was OP, and now you have to upgrade your tower, next. Number 25, Evil Bomber and Wall Breaker. They were released, they were OP, next. Number 26, level 15, second Evo slot. It was added to high-level players, giving them even more of an edge. It was OP, next. Number 27, Evo Tesla added. It was released, it was OP, next. Number 28, Lucky Drops. They added RNG to progression because it wasn't hard enough. Why get guaranteed rewards when instead you can get a 99% chance of getting 650 gold and a 1% chance of getting 1,500 of a card you already have maxed? Isn't this so fun? Number 29, Dagger Duchess. She was released, she was OP. Next. Number 29, Goblin Queen's Journey. You know what's better than 2 ladders? 3 ladders. And the third one is based off a concept that could have been a weekly game mode. Number 31, Evo P.E.K.K.A. and Evo Mega Knight. They were released, they were OP. Number 32, Goblin Sign and Evo Electro Dragon. They were released, they were OP. Number 33, Royal Chef. He was released, he was OP. Don't worry, we're getting close to the end now, bear with me. Number 34, Evo Lumberjack. He was released, he was OP. Number 35, Retro Royale. You know what's better than 2 ladders? 3 ladders. And the third one is based all around a concept that could have been a weekly game mode because they were too lazy to actually do a Retro Royale. Whew! That was a lot. And that brings us to finally an update so bad that it somehow manages to beat everything on this long list. Number 36, March 2025. No more chests. They removed chests in the season shop and gave us nothing. Literally. They just took away 50% of progression and gave nothing in return. You now need 6 wins instead of 3 to get the cards, so it's just double the time to get half the rewards. That's it. That's literally the entire update. And there you have it. That's every update that made Clash Royale worse. It's a shame that Clash Royale is a shell of what it used to be. If I missed anything, be sure to let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe. Oh, and because this took me so long to make, number 37, Boss Bandit. She was released, she was OP. Thanks for watching.